Blame Truth here, and hmm, I tend to save up a lot of topics for like one longer video now. And the roller coaster, I mean, this is like a drama. This is literally like a low budget drama you'd see on daytime TV. Instead of as the world turns, it's as the toilet flushes or something. And it's just Call of Duty, the Call of Duty shaped turd going down the drain. But there's like twists and turns along the way, you know? So I don't know, man. There's so much I want to cover. Where do I even begin? I guess I'll just start off with my infamous catchphrase. I got a lot I want to get off my chest. I'm sure you guys heard the news by now about them potentially charging for limited time events. If you failed to see that, let me just address that right quick here. Basically, Ghost of Hope, a prominent leaker, reported that limited time events, so like this Seth Rogen cringe fest that's currently going on, that would be like something you get only as a battle pass purchaser in the future. It would be essentially pay to participate, and maybe even a little bit pay to win, depending on the rewards and if they offer like guns and stuff like that. Basically, they were trying to further monetize and nickel and dime their consumer base to death. Yes, the trillion-dollar company, which uses AI for most of their development anyway, we're going to charge you more because they're just hurting, guys. I mean, look at the economy. Think about the trillion-dollar fucking company, please. Someone please look at the data.
Well, the data says that people are not playing the limited time weed mode enough. Even though it's May, it's well past 420. I don't understand.
I don't know, viewer. Maybe, just maybe, it's because the game is unplayable, cringy shit. Just a guess. But I think that's the real reason not as many people are playing and spending money on a Seth Rogen tweed bullshit skin in 2025. I mean, the top post on Reddit is just someone looking at this skin and saying, hey, this is fucking lame. Is he wrong? No. Maybe bring us something that feels like a 90s event. You stupid motherfuckers are so cringy, so out of touch, so disgusting. It's no wonder people aren't spending money because it's like you're trying way too hard to be cool and you're failing on top of the game being literally unplayable right now. And I'll get to that in a bit here. But with all this yelling and all this screaming early on, there is a glimmer of hope. We actually are in control. So what I just showed you, there's a twist to that. And we, me, my channel, you guys, we are the ones that have the power here. We are the ones that caused this twist in the story. And I will get to that in just a second after a brief word from this video's sponsor, a much better way to spend some money in my opinion. Check it out. Today's video is sponsored by Eldorado.gg, and they are the #1 place for when you want something in a video game, but maybe you don't have time or the skill set to get it. Eldorado's got your hookup. So, real world example here, my girlfriend wants me to play Rainbow Six Siege with her. However, it's a lot to get into. There's so much stuff out there. There's something I could do, for example, and I'll show you in this video. I can purchase someone's old Siege account they are done with a lot of unlocks on it, and then I'm not a complete noob whenever I pick up the game, install it, and try it out. Eldorado also offers certain services for Call of Duty to help with camo unlocks. Maybe you're stretched for time. Maybe you're simply not good enough. Maybe you're sick of the skill-based matchmaking when you're just trying to get dark matter and you can't get this one launcher done and you want somebody else to maybe help you through it. Eldorado's got your hookup. Every seller on Eldorado is verified, no scammers whatsoever, and all orders are protected by Eldorado Trade Shield protection. Delivery of whatever you purchase is available usually in a few minutes with 24/7 live support if something goes wrong. If you're still not sold, Eldorado has a 4.4 on Trustpilot with over 46,000 reviews. So guys, get an exclusive Eldorado discount today when you go to eldorado.gg/blame or just use code BLAME at checkout. Again, that's eldorado.gg/blame or use code BLAME at checkout. All right, guys, welcome back to the video. That wasn't like a spot for the ad, by the way. I literally did purchase a Siege account. So if you guys want to see some Rainbow Six Siege gameplay on the channel, maybe I will get into it and make that my FPS of choice from now on. Because Call of Duty, guys, the stuff I'm going to show you in this video, if you're like me and you're not actively playing the game, you will never want to come back after showing you what I'm going to show you. But there is some positive stuff to show you first. From Charlie Intel and the Ghost of Hope. You guys are not going to believe this. So as of a few hours ago, Charlie Intel says, update, we've been told that rumor below of Call of Duty putting limited time modes behind Battle Pass is false. This will not be happening for Call of Duty 2025. But the reason why this was taken out will shock you, okay? Ghost of Hope says, I'm glad I was wrong then, either from the start or because of the backlash I saw across the board. BS Black Scout says, do you think it was backtracking or just legit incorrect? It sounded a bit excessive, but also very believable because Activision. Ghost of Hope says, I trust who gave me the info and reported on it as such. I personally think they backtracked. And I personally think that too. Not a single fucking person I saw talking about this all over Twitter, all over Reddit, anywhere was for this. YouTubers made videos even calling this out. And then guess what? They backtracked. It's almost like we have the motherfucking power. But there are just too many dumb pussies playing this game that will not speak out when things are not right. We have the power. We're the ones that pay these billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies everything they earn, if you think about it. Why don't more people just admit that I have been right since 2019? Legitimately, if every creator and player of Call of Duty were just clones of me, essentially, we would have the best Call of Duty. Like, the yearly releases would have stopped. We would have had something equivalent to Black Ops 2 that gets constantly updated. We would have had the best FPS, arcade FPS of all time. If every single player and YouTuber were just spouting what I was spouting, everyone had the same mindset. But instead we're taking baby steps. I mean, yeah, this is a W, but there are just so many dumbasses still playing this game. And I'm sorry if you feel called out there because you play Call of Duty and you're a dumbass. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not here to sugarcoat things and wipe your ass for you. I'm just not. I'm here to tell it like it is. I'm here to call a spade a spade. All right? That's what I'm here to do. Now, with this win, though, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But there is something really, really strange going on. Like, yeah, this isn't happening, and that's great. But the game currently, and I'm not just talking Black Ops 6, I'm not just talking zombies, I'm not just talking Warzone. From what I understand and what I have seen across the board on Twitter and Reddit, everything is fucked. Like, it's nearly unplayable. And the craziest thing about this is this may be intentional, or it could just be gross incompetence. There's evidence to support both claims. Let me show you the evidence that it's sheer and utter incompetence. When I saw this, I couldn't believe it, but it explains a whole hell of a lot. So someone posted this on Twitter and said, I looked up the hours just out of curiosity for Infinity Ward Studios, and these people are such cringy, lazy potheads that their hours of operation are 4:20 to 4:20. Except on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Why is it different on those days? Is that when, like, a lot of the employees' wives, boyfriends want to have them get off work early or go into work later? I don't know, man. But this explains a whole lot. Is everyone at these dev teams just a bunch of, like, unqualified, lazy potheads? Is that why the games are so bad? Is that why every single update is so incredibly broken? Are people just working on this game high out of their mind? I understand that, being high can help some people concentrate. I totally get that as someone with ADHD who has, used that for certain medicinal purposes. But at the same time, not everyone's like that. It kind of affects everyone differently. Why in the fuck are people going to work on a $1 trillion game high as a fucking kite, and it's made a complete joke with their hours of operation? Maybe this is just someone changing some stuff on Google without someone's consent. Maybe it's not real. I don't know, but I saw this on Twitter. Someone posted about it. There you go. Infinity Ward works on every single game. I mean, all the studios kind of work on every single game together collectively nowadays, which is why everything feels like just the same garbage, the same slop. But I digress. I cannot believe this is real. Like, did they just let their employees just fucking, hit the bong? Like, as they're working on these games? Imagine if any other studio did this with like any other substance. Imagine if Rockstar Games just got fucking drunk. They just passed around old English 800s, passed around some 40s around the office. Is that why it's taken to 2026 to make a game? Everyone's in slow motion because they're drunk as fuck, hungover, puking their guts out. Like, what in the fuck is this company? Activision Blizzard are just weird. They're freaks. I don't know how they got as big as they did, being such creepy, off-kilter weirdos, but here we are, But guys, there's another twist in this story. Everything wrong with the game right now with Season 3 Reloaded could actually be devs sabotaging the game to get their way, and I'm not kidding with that. So, without further ado, let's check this out. I feel like the first thing I should do is to show you guys how absolutely broken Season 3 Reloaded is. Apparently, it's like one of the most broken updates of all time. Jesus, this game is awful. So is anyone else having an issue where it takes forever to get into a game, and when you do get a game, it's full of sweats? Oh, and the frame rate is all over the place and it's dropping packets like crazy, so you leave said room and go to a new match only to be put back into the same goddamn match. I'm also, again, getting the glitch where you just join a match with a previous class selected. Also having trouble setting up classes as they keep glitching out. But thankfully, thank the good Lord, I can still drop a load of money on out-of-date drug references. Thank Jeebus I didn't pay for this crap. Manpack says, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm convinced this update accidentally botched the matchmaking choices and buckets so that instead of console only restricting your lobbies to consoles, it essentially used the shadow ban pool for matchmaking. Whoa. The fact that literally everyone is having the same experience unless they revert to full crossplay is telling. Yep, hopped in a game of Warzone and there was no circle, lasted about 1 hour. I left and gave up. Go jump in a multiplayer match and the zoom is all jacked up and my loadouts are all plain with no attachments. So I back out and check Battle Pass, and that was taking forever to come up and never did. Makes me want to uninstall this hot mess. Oh, and I was still hearing a guy talking from my previous Warzone match and coming up on the screen. This guy says, uninstall this shit, man. Way better games out there that don't take up 300 gigabytes. This guy on Twitter says, why is nobody talking about quads lobbies crashing every single game in Warzone? Even in casual, says Mr. Jad. No shot, they got the casuals too. An optimizer told me it's a bug with the new NVIDIA drivers. Have you tried reverting to the last couple stable ones? And Metaphor says it's not. The entire lobby crashes, as in everyone in the game, everyone in the lobby, everyone on the server crashes out. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting, okay? Another thread on Reddit says, what the F happened to multiplayer since the High R event update? I was a decent player and had heaps of fun most of the time, finishing top 3 of my games. Lobbies filled fast, even though I checked console only. Since the Seth Rogen High R update, everything feels busted. I get thrown into the sweatiest lobbies and always finish last. Lobbies are laggy. My shots seem to not register anymore. I get spawn killed all the fucking time and just can't seem to get into somewhat of a flow, and it takes ages to find/fill lobbies, and I just accidentally wasted an XP token. It's still very early here, and I didn't think straight. Loads of times, lobbies are crazy unbalanced in player count too, like 2v6, but mostly it's 4v4 since the update. It sounds like this guy is in the Shadowban bracket doing the restricted matchmaking to only their platform, and he's facing cheaters, by the way. It's like that one guy said. By the way, I am posting this while waiting for the lobby to fill up. So question, do you guys have the same experience, and is there any news about this on dev side? We get another update in 2 days. Maybe they said something somewhere. But here's the kicker. He actually edits the post and says something insane. Look at this. So he says, edit. Sick of it all, 2024, posted this in another thread. I'm not allowed to say much, but I had recently been going back and forth with Craptivision. In a recent email, they had asked if any of my issues had been resolved. I said nope, not a single one, and instead loaded into Liberty Falls and did the bowling alley Easter egg. And at the end, my trophy wouldn't allow me to loot it. So I went ahead and told them about the Warzone crashes in the end of the games, and they said it's worse than ever. I shared several videos and pictures of the multiplayer game saying that I wasn't connected while loading in, and how many of my loadouts changed to have no weapons or anything else. Also, we had noted that we've got some inside information about them intentionally causing many issues with the game altogether. We received a response yesterday morning, Friday morning, and they said that they were going to send us to the corporate offices. We've got videos of shooting players and they're taking 0 damage, and the bullets while looking into the sides going around the other players, so it's clear they're doing things wrong on purpose, and they refuse to admit it. However, they refuse to deny the facts of these things because they know they're in the wrong. Our question is, why are they doing this, and what purpose does it serve? That's super sketchy. What's Treyarch Activision onto if it's correct what he's saying? Now, I tend to make fun of Call of Duty players for not being the most intelligent people, the most educated people out there, especially in 2025, especially at this stage in the game's life cycle. And hopefully the grammar and the atrocious just writing style there was decipherable enough for you to understand what he was saying. It seems that Activision revealed to this guy through support that someone internally is messing with stuff and they're working to get it fixed. And they're using this person's evidence, this video evidence of like what's going on in the game as evidence against whoever's doing this internally behind the scenes. Are these devs having weed psychosis and like sabotaging the game? What is actually happening? And there's actually another twist here in regards to what this person wrote. I checked out his Reddit profile and looked through his previous posts, and what I found is probably the best evidence that he was telling the truth. Look at this, viewer. So I found the thread where he posted this reply that was quoted in that particular Reddit thread. He deleted it for some reason. Now, if he was doing this for clout or whatever, he would have left it up. There's really no reason to lie about such a thing, and then there's especially no reason to just outright delete it unless he thought he would be getting in trouble if he made this information public. So he says, I mean, I don't go into detail regarding their responses, so I'm pretty much just kind of saying what they said. And this is in response to someone calling him out on the original post or whatever. This leads me to believe that this is legit. I think someone at Activision support told him that there's something going on internally. Can you give us some clips of what's happening so we can maybe fix this situation, find the person who's doing this? I'm not sure what happens behind closed doors at Activision Blizzard or the Call of Duty dev teams or whatever. Actually, that's a lie. I'm quite sure of what happens. Breast milk gets stolen from the community fridge. Women get pictures of their privates passed around the office. And Activision Blizzard are also really, really racist. And they hold struggle sessions. It's funny, I've covered the whole breast milk thing before, and I've always kind of had a laugh at it, but I've never really dug deep into it. Like, I'd read the articles and stuff like that, but I wanted to show you an actual employee's account of the situation, okay? This is super interesting. So this is from years ago, but Stephanie Krutzik says, thread, I can corroborate this story about the breast milk being stolen, and I am likely the origin of this statement, though I don't remember telling this specific person. I was one of the first, if not the first, woman to use the new quiet rooms. At that time, they consisted of a chair, side table, and a light. This was in 2008. There was no fridge in the room, so I had to label and carry my breast milk out and store it in the break room fridge. It was very clearly breast milk in baggies with my baby's face on it. It was clearly mine, as I was the only lactating woman in the building. One day, I went to retrieve my pump supply at the end of the day, and it was gone. There were no other mothers in the building, and very few women at all in either QA or CS at the time. All the other items I had seen earlier were still in the fridge. They were dated and labeled. Someone had either taken my bags and tossed them or stolen them for some creepy reason. This was devastating, not just for the creep factor, but because I was already very low on supply and had a baby who wouldn't latch. I was already supplementing and struggling to get milk. We never ever found out who did it. To their credit, my HR rep and my department's director swiftly provided a mini fridge and other improvements to the room within 24 hours, but it should have never happened in the first place. What demented person steals an infant's food? She ends this thread by just saying, hey, Bobby Kotick, fuck you. You know why the stock prices were falling. It's a great way to end it, honestly. And with that, I am going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, rating, comment below with your thoughts and your opinions on Season 3 Reloaded. Oh, there's a new, what's it even called? I don't even know what it's called. What's it called? Some stupid cringy weed event. You get some like terrible weed skin. It's like purple and green. Who gives a fuck? No one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.